straight game destruction in the semi-finals of Chung and Heikel. And for Ahsan and Setiawan, well, a little bit more of a struggle against Chen and Lin in the semis, but here they are in the final. And as of the start of this month, this is the rankings for the men's doubles, the race to the finals. He and Ren unsurprisingly up at the top, Satwig and Chirac in second, and a good spread of nations, but two Malaysian pairs in there. The most surprising one is Chung Hon-Jan and Muhammad Heikel in ninth. Top 8, of course, make it to the finals. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Possibly the most in-form men's doubles pair right now. It's a very competitive division, but they have been scoring and they've been scoring big. And if He and Ren have been scoring big, then we go to past tense for this pair. They've scored big for about 2 decades now. Ahsan and Setiawan, they're going to be very happy to be in their first final of 2024. Last time they were in a final was the All England back in 23. And there's been no other really significant results for them, but they are class. And they have also been in really good form this week. Just dropped that 1 game in the semi-finals. 1-0 in the head-to-head last time they met at the Malaysian Open, and it was a retirement in the second game. Those knees and hips all catching up with them, all running around. Emi Sakamoto with the coin toss.
Gold. Black for you.
So she'll be in the big chair.
Thank you. This is gold. This side, who will serve? Then serve, who will receive? Okay. Thank you.
Well, Hendra Setiawan was out in the press yesterday saying how he made a lot of mistakes in the semi-finals. He was upset with that. He was also very impressed with Aaron, the power smashers of Chen and Lin. But he did also concede that this match, this final, they're going to have to really be on their toes.
That's true, because He and Ren are a different proposition to any other pair that they played in this tournament, and perhaps this year as well.
26 years old, Heiji Ting, currently ranked 8th, and that's their peak. But said they won in Singapore, Thai Masters, 3rd at the Malaysia Masters, quarterfinalists at the All England, runner-up in Germany, and also another quarterfinal at the Malaysia Open right at the start of the year, which is, as you saw the last time they met. It's been a good output. This is the kind of output that will see them as a shoe-in for the World Tour finals if they're scoring at this rate in terms of tournaments. Fast, efficient, good understanding of where they each are, and as we pointed out before, killer instinct. Haven't dropped a game all week, look at that. And 3 of their matches under 30 minutes, 20 minutes for Chan and Rajkumar, 29 minutes Edison and Yu, and as you went through, it was 34 minutes in the semi-finals, so they've had no problems at all.
Well, they're really replicating the whole trajectory and speed of trajectory of Liang Wei-Keng and Wang Chang.
Yeah, and that's what I meant about possibly the most effective, because there are some very competitive pairs now in the men's doubles division. Hendra and Setiawan and Ahsan, well, they used to be the best. It's as simple as that. You know, over the last 20 years, they have come out, proved themselves on a number of different stages. 2007 was when he was #1, Hendra with Kido, and 2013 was #1 with Ahsan. Defolki and Tang in 26 minutes, Cohen Lee in 23 minutes, Kusuma Wadana and Ramadanshi in 27 minutes, and then that only game that they dropped, 43 minutes against Chen and Lin. But they really kind of fired up again in the 3rd game once they'd lost that second, and it was pretty close, that they lost that second. They were on course to do it in 2. Emi Sakamoto in the umpire's chair. And that is Dheeraj Gunidri in the service judge position. And with everybody set, we are ready for the last final of the day. Oh, is it safe to say, Aaron, that...
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, He Jiting and Ren Xuanyu, China. And on my left, Muhammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan, Indonesia. Ren Xuanyu to serve to Muhammad Ahsan. Love ball, play.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt Emi Sakamoto's introduction, but is it safe to say, Aaron, to continue on what I was thinking, that Ahsan Setiawan the underdogs here?
I would say yes.
Well, you know, it brings up a lot of kind of very interesting debates about experience and current form, and you know, the old trope of age versus youth. That's the standard. That's like the pizza base for everything else you can put on top. But yeah, I think based on current form and seeding, He and Ren have a chance to overwhelm them. But then there's shots like that that pop up out of nowhere.
Well, Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan, they are vastly experienced. There's no doubt about it. We can think about this as pros and cons. They would be like hoarders of lots and lots of memories of how different players play and their own skill set.
Right,
but
yeah.
it's like you looking for your Christmas cards once a year, or your glue stick, or your USB. You have to go and access it and remember where to access it. It's somewhere in the memory bank when you need it, but you have to go to that part of the house. So you have to remember where it is.
And all of this is wrapped up in, as I said, aging bodies. I'm not going to pull any punches there, you know, 36 and 39 against 26 and 24. There's a certain amount of physicality.
3-2.
Now, we watched that match against Chen and Lin. And do you agree with what Hendra was saying? Do you think he was at fault? He made a lot of mistakes. He self-admitted.
I feel like every player, Ahsan, Setiawan, they, especially intelligent ones and, you know how to condition themselves, they would have personal goals. And we talked about optimum. They know what their optimum is. So Hendra definitely knows that. He wasn't hitting his optimum. So if you're not hitting your optimum, you're not hitting your own personal goal.
Well, it is great to see them in yet another final.
Service over. Change. 4-0.
And so far, the points reflecting parity between them. As you heard from the offset, both pairs with great sets of fans here, key center.
5-4.
That's a great return by Ren, who's now taking awesome control of the back. In fact, it was He. Ren was up front. Powerful control at the back line. They are fully interchangeable, this pair. I guess you have to be in men's doubles these days.
So I'm going to reuse a theme that we talked about from the mixed doubles with Jiang and Wei.
Yeah.
So it's not that her and Ren's individual shots will be a surprise. It's the compounding effect. And the compounding effect of He Jiting and Ren Xiangyu is different to He Jiting and Tan Chiang, who the Indonesians have had success over. It's a much tighter partnership.
Broken a racket already? Ahsan. This seems to be, well, I'm sure Lizzie Joss stringers are still waiting. You know,
they all use Victor rackets.
Yeah,
should be okay, interchangeable.
Certain players get guest cards, guest list cards with the stringers. Welcome back, sir. We haven't seen you in a while. Oh, that's an attempted drop by Hendra. And Hein Ren with a 3-point lead off the bat. Yes, these
9-5.
It also doesn't help that the Indonesians haven't played any of this kind of play, as in Chinese style play. They played them before, but in this tournament,
for sure,
they wouldn't have had practice. Even, I imagine, on the practice court, they would never practice.
Well, and there is a certain speed and of play that Chinese players have that is completely different, yeah. Well.
Service over. 10-6. Interval.
So at the break, 11-6.
Seconds. 20 seconds. Players on board.
So 11-6. Lightning pace to this match. And I think that might just be because we've seen such marathon matches today.
11-6. Play.
But they have started, and they've started pretty fast. Just 5 minutes, 17 points. 18 points now. It just goes to show you.
Well, it's worrying that Ahsan can't find his sweet timing yet. He's looking for it, you can tell.
Yeah, both of them, in fact, have been guilty of misses. But again, they're getting pushed off. I mean, that's 19 points in 6 minutes that's been paid. And He and Ren are just doing what they do, pushing forward. All those Indonesian fans are willing on Ahsan and Setiawan, but this is rapidly turning into a very quick game for He and Ren.
Subs over. 7-14.
Well, whatever happens here, they will still have the fact that they have made the final, and that's going to be their first significant result of 2024. Winning it is just going to be an extra bonus. Beautiful movement by He and Ren. And wonderful vision at the front from He Jiting.
Well, something late era Ahsan and Setiawan have been doing is playing with the momentum of the shuttle, giving opponents let's call it nothing momentum shots.
Yeah.
But they haven't been able to do it in this game very much. I think Setiawan tried earlier with some kind of creative lift, but it was wide of the side perimeter.
He's pushed out wide, I think he has. They are trying, you know, but right now they're just a couple of paces off the behind. They're like chasing the points.
Theoretically, I think, just to go back to our earlier point, is that if there were some junior or even B team Chinese players that they could have played earlier, it would have acclimatized them.
Yeah, acclimatized them a bit more. But right now they have been overwhelmed in this first game. Question remains as to whether they can use that incredible experience. It's a wonderful image you had before about accessing it, if they can access it, and start to apply it in the second game. As I said, there are always going to be glittering shots, echoes of the past that will come in.
9-16. Change.
Hay and Ren, unlike Kasuma and Portiwi, showing absolutely no respect for that experience. Absolutely no respect for the glittering career. They are going for the kill. But then again, I guess they just don't play like that. They're not interested in long rallies. Oh, that's nice from Ahsan, the back. But again, that red wave just coming through.
Can you tell that as a point of difference and contrast between Chinese pairs right now, that He and Ren both naturally have some kind of internal, let's call it rage, that that helps them produce good results.
Yes. Energy and fuel is what it is.
89.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So
I
He Jing was partnering Zhou Haodong. Zhou Haodong, yeah, good player, finds his intentions from somewhere else, but not from a kind of rage. Sort of like Carolina Marin, she's got a
yeah,
internal rage, fire.
You always feel like it's there, you know, like she's so hungry for the win. Just turned 31 yesterday, Carolina Marin.
Happy birthday, Carolina Marin.
Oh, she's playing such amazing badminton, you know, right
Back
now.
to world number 3.
Yeah, exactly. But the performances she's been putting in, it's been unbelievable, and you can't counter out for that Olympic run. That's going to be a very interesting women's singles competition in Paris. 19-10 or 10-19. Trying to pick up the pace a little. Oh, that's... I don't even know how to explain that. I mean, there's taking shots late, but then there's putting a trick shot at the end of it. Ahsan from the corner didn't clear the net, and it's 10 game points. Uncharacteristic miss from He Jing.
11-20.
Oh, they don't miss that time. So, 21-11 in 12 minutes.
Won by He Jing and Ren Yu, 21-11.
So here we go, game 2.
Is one game enough to acclimatize to the Chinese offense?
I don't think so. But let's see if they have adapted in any way. I think regardless of whether they adapt to the speed, they do have to watch their unforced errors. They have to really tighten up a little bit, because I think I've seen 2 unforced errors really from the Chinese side.
Well, really, we see Ahsan and Setiawan score that low. It's because it's forced errors plus unforced errors.
There's a huge difference, obviously, between forced and unforced. And in men's doubles, it moves so quickly that there's a lot more incidents of forced errors. 3-love.
In fact, to the point where I can't really tell sometimes which one is the forced and which one is the unforced, because there's so much pressure.
Unforced is basically, I reckon, if it's an under no pressure shot, I mean, it's a clearance or a lift or whatever. If it's a direct smash that you have been, you know, that you're trying to defend, then that's more of a forced. But I think there has to be an active kind of shot coming your way. For it to be classified that way. Whoa, that's interesting. They've done some very interesting things, these 4 players so far. This is full-on attack.
It is. I was just looking at He Ting then and thinking, well, that's a Tan Chiang type smash, and Tan Chiang used to be the power player. I mean,
you know, you see it a lot with Liang and Wang. You see a lot of kind of full-on attacks coming. It's very much part of the men's doubles game, but these 2, they just seem to get on it earlier, and it seems to have that little bit of, as you said it, rage behind it.
It's that dynamic with this particular pairing. They found the pairing, and He Ting, you know, able to become a real player now. Not that he didn't have it in him before, but he didn't have to play that role as much.
Well, that was a bit of a lull, but now they are again straight onto the attack. Well, Ahsan and Setiawan have actually done quite well to... There it is.
That's, some of the nothing momentum shots that's keeping them alive.
Well, this is by far the most developed rally we've seen. But it included 3 attacking phases from He and Ren. If the first one didn't get through and the second one was deflected slightly in terms of pace, the third one certainly made the difference. 7-love. Stark contrast to the other finals that we've seen.
Oh, a little bit like roulette or blackjack. The trend, the pattern will change at some point. So,
in fact, if it kept going the same way, I'd get worried, because it meant that something's gone very wrong with the world. But you're right. Averages always break. And a first point for them in the second game.
Service over. 8-1.
It's a nice shot down the line by Ahsan, and it's a good drop into mid-court as well.
And again, playing with the momentum of the shuttle.
Yeah.
Making it, well, difficult to do very much with the shuttle for the opponents. So the Indonesians are trying, it's just not reflected in the score line.
Well, that's because they have to deal with that every 5 or 6 shots.
9-2.
Well, my heart goes out to Hay and Ren's training partners because they must really get it in training sessions.
My heart goes out to her and Ren for not making the Olympics.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. There are players, so many good players in China. And a lot of them just didn't make it.
I haven't looked at the rules so closely in recent years, but in the past, a country who had to choose, a nation who had to choose between several pairs, they could still pick a slightly lower pair. So they could have picked Ren and her, if I'm still remembering the rules as they are.
I mean, it's 11-2 in the second. There are changes. I can think of right now Lina Kjærsfeldt in the women's singles being replaced by the Danish Badminton Federation, by Mia Blichfeldt. So maybe it's something like that. But I think with China especially, there's even more special rules involved because there are just so many pairs. So I think it's going to be based on ranking for a start.
Well, for viewers out there, from what I can remember, there was a time even when nations were allowed to submit 3 entries per discipline.
And then 2 picked.
And even in the women's singles, I think at some point, China had world number 1, world number 2, world number 3, world number 4. And they did choose a world number 4 over either world number 3 or number 2.
Wow. Well, to say that it's an uphill task for the daddies is an understatement. The way the points have been falling, the way this match has been evolving, there's the big attack. 12-2.
12-2.
You know, it happens with everyone. If you keep playing as you get older, you're going to come across younger players, and they're going to give you a whole new learning experience. And thankfully, it'll never take away from the glittering career. And maybe this final appearance at the Australian Open will, like I said, kick in a good run for them in the second half of the season.
Service over. 13-3.
It's not good enough. It's not a direct winner, and it's good enough to force the point anyway. 14-3. And unbelievably, they've picked up their pace from the first, of course, playing on that slightly better side. That was a good drop in. Those skills you'll never take away from them.
No, definitely not. And perhaps more than skill, instinct.
Yes, knowing when to do it. Exactly, yeah.
Service over. 15-4.
About 22 minutes they've been on court, and they're 6 points away from the championship. As I said, only one of their matches, Hay and Ren, went past 30 minutes, and that was 34 minutes in the semis.
15.
Aggression, and then there's
Service over.
He Jiting and Ren Zhangyu.
65.
Great lift there by Hay and Ren. Now back onto the flat exchange. And then the full attack. Oh, nice.
That's the kind of rally I think the crowd were looking for.
Well, how they managed to steady the ship from left to right, full court coverage. Saved in the end by mistake, but they did manage to keep that rally alive. So it's not all about attack with them. They certainly know where they are.
Well, some viewers, they just watch badminton as pure entertainment, and I like to liken pure entertainment to a bit like pop music. You can just watch a game just for what Ahsan and Setiawan are doing, not caring whether they win or not.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Service over.
18-6.
I mean, there's no question that that brilliant rally that they didn't win by the Indonesians was still very difficult for the Chinese pair, who are perhaps the best pair at the moment, or the informed pair.
I certainly think that they are.
Service over.
Big smile from Mahmoud Ahsan, that's good.
Service over. 19-7.
He's pushed that wide.
Service over.
Nice idea. Cut that from there.
19.
I think of the daddies as a little bit like experienced cooks who cook at home, and they're just making it up as it goes. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Whereas
just do it by feeling. Yeah.
That's right, do it from feeling. But her and Ren, they probably are chefs who work in a restaurant. They have to replicate.
Yeah, and they have to also produce.
That's right.
Oh, it's a 360.
So,
11 championship points. And the way these points have been falling, there's a very good chance they're only going to need one. Oh, make that two because that's out. I love the attention to detail, you know, it's like you're 11 points up. So maybe they did do it on one. Let's check it out. Sure to be the last challenge. No, no, not this time.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
Oh no, they've got one challenge left.
Service over.
Oh no, disaster. What are they going to do? Fantastic performance from Hein Ren. Really, really solid stuff.
Emphatic.
Yes. Oh, another interesting rally. And that's it, 21-10, 27 minutes. And Hein Ren add another title, a third in 2024 after the Thai Masters in the Singapore Open, which was just a couple of weeks ago. It's been near flawless from them. Well, in fact, it has been flawless. They haven't dropped a game all week. Unbelievable. And every one of those matches was underneath 35 minutes.
11, 21, 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the finalists of the men's doubles to the stage. I'd like to introduce Geraldine Brown, BWF Vice President, to make the presentation to the runners-up. Ladies and gentlemen, your runners-up, Muhammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan from Indonesia. I'd like to now welcome Julie McDonald, President of Badminton Australia, to present the winners. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners and 2024 men's doubles champions, He Ting and Ren Jiang Yu, China. I'd like to finally call on Berlin Chow, Director of EBA, to make the final presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, your men's doubles finalists.
So looking at these wonderful results here on finals Friday, and there's a story to each one. Zhang Zhenbang and Wei Yazin kicked it all off in 48 minutes, getting their back-to-back titles after winning the Indonesia Open last week. That was followed by the women's singles, Aya Hori against Esther Wardoyo. 74-minute match, Aya Hori picking up her second title of 2024. That was followed by the women's doubles. Kasuma and Pratiwi have waited 5 attempts at getting their first ever title, and they've got it here in Australia. Lee Sijia then stepped up, and was it a master stroke or not? But he outplayed Kota Naraoka in 78 minutes to get his second title of the year. And of course, finally after that, it was just a masterclass from He Ting and Ren Jiang Yu. They've been in such fine form over the last month or so. The number 1 seeds ousting the number 2 seeds, Ahsan and Setiawan, 21-11, 21-10, to pick up their third title of the year in just 28 minutes. And they did it flawless throughout the week. So looking at the calendar, up next, of course, yes, the Paris Olympics is up next, but that doesn't mean that the HSBC BWF World Tour stops. The US Open is up next on the 25th of June, followed by the Canada Open on the 2nd of July. Then it's back to Asia for Japan, Korea, Taipei, Hong Kong, China, Macau, before it goes back to Europe for the Arctic Open. So, while as the players now get their pictures signed, all that's left for me to do is say goodbye to Aaron Wong from Bad Scene. Thanks for joining us all week, Aaron.
Well, thank you, Jeevan. It's been fun and different to change from typing about matches to talking about them.
And hope to see you again soon. As for us right now, and everyone here at the Key Center, we want to wish you a great evening. For us, it's goodbye.